COVID-19 continues to do its worst among us, and the death toll is rising here in Britain and all over the world. And as a result, many people are beginning to ask the big questions of life, and not least of all, about eternal life and heaven and how you get there. And that takes us to the third chapter in this book, If You Could Ask God One Question. The third chapter is this: all good people go to heaven, right? It's the question of who gets to heaven. It reminds me of a time when a young man ran up to Jesus and he was asking about heaven. He asked this question: "Good teacher," he said to Jesus, "what must I do to inherit eternal life?" And Jesus picked up on that word good. He said back to him, "Why do you call me good? No one is good except God alone." It's the question of whether we're good enough for heaven. Of course, how good we are depends on who we compare ourselves to. If we compare ourselves to other people, we might well think we're good. Although, to be honest, during this time of lockdown, maybe many of us have realised we're not quite as good as we thought we were, being grumpy with others and such like. But of course, if we don't compare ourselves to others but compare ourselves to God, then we begin to really see what we're like. And Jesus reminded this young man of the 10 commandments, and particularly he drew attention to 2 commandments, the first 2, that we should love God with all our heart, soul, mind and strength, and that we shouldn't put other things in the place of God. And that's where the young man and all of us fail. We don't treat God first. We take all the good things that we want from God but largely ignore him. We put other things in God's place and serve them rather than God. And so you see, none of us are good. And that puts us in a precarious state. It means none of us are worthy of heaven. And when we come face to face with God, we're going to be in serious trouble. But there is hope in Christianity. And that is because Jesus died on the cross so that we could be forgiven. But that's another chapter in this book that I'll deal with in a couple of weeks' time. For now, if you want to know more about this question of how we get to heaven, well, you can get a free copy of this book, a free ebook from the Good Book Company. Go to their website, the Good Book Company, and put in "If You Could Ask God One Question" ebook, and you can get a free copy, download it, and you can read some more to address this very question.